So
no one in this room is saying I'm the only person.
No,
but like this is.
But it's exciting. It's so it feels like I don't even know how. Like I feel like we're in the middle of a chaotic parade.
Sugar break. Welcome back to Launching Us. This is a podcast where we talk about us becoming small business owners. And along the way, we're going to interview some amazing people. But today, I'm interviewing my amazing wife. This whole podcast started on the day she quit her job. And it was a way to kind of honor her because she's been wanting to be a realtor for so long. And so she quit her job to become a realtor. And I am basically repeating everything on episode 1. So just go back to watch episode 1 because that's a really good episode on her journey on that scaredness mentality and everything that was like on day 1. And now we're on day whatever. I'll put a text. And she is full on a realtor.
Yeah.
This is what she does. And she's been kind of loving it. At least from what I can see and be with her every day of her life. So tell me, how has that journey been? Well, first of all, how does it feel to be a full-on realtor?
It feels incredible. I think we talk about it so much in the podcast where we talk about like I literally left an amazing career and decided I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to work for myself. And it's been incredible. I feel almost like I get to be myself. I get to really push as far as I want. I love the people that I'm with, my group with EXP, because
EXP in the house.
Yeah, EXP. I'm with the brokerage EXP, and I've everything that is said about that brokerage. They live up to the hype, right? So incredible people to work with. The systems and the programs that I have access to are insane and awesome. And I mean, I just can't talk about how I can't express as much how grateful I am for EXP.
Take it from me. She talks about it quite a bit because I hear it every day.
Every day.
If it's not EXP, if it's not my mentor, if it's not Karuvi, if it's not all the other tools that we'll probably get into here shortly. But
I never stop talking about it.
You never do stop talking about it, which is good because it shows that you're still passionate and you still like it. So
I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's, I feel like I have more than the first time realtor jitters. Like I'm really passionate about what I'm doing. And I love that the motto in my life with every person that I speak to is the business will go as far as I want it to go and in the direction that I want it to go in. Yeah. And I've never had that opportunity before. I mean, like our production company is amazing. Well, I love our production company, but it's a partnership. And even though the real estate is a partnership, it's more me leading that partnership. And the production company is 100% you leading that partnership.
It is a partnership because we are a partnership.
Yeah.
And it's a partnership.
Yay, partnership.
But it's a partnership because we're partners. And it's also a partnership because what we do as a family financially affects everything.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be a partnership and to that level.
Absolutely. And I feel like we have a lot of input in each other's things. So like, even though I'm not a creative, I have a lot of input administratively for Aveo Creative. And then I feel like the things where I lack, I'm very administrative with the real estate. You're very creative. You're like, oh, I think we should try this or and I think that complements each other really well, but it feels really great to be leading this area of our businesses, and it feels really incredible.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much more we can get into that. I don't want to get into more of that right now. I want to hear, how was that journey for you from the day you quit your job till the day you passed your test, which was extremely long. I'm just speaking as the husband. It was pretty extremely long, like the journey, and here listening to Jacob and Tharmila and all them say you took way too long. Yeah, I mean, you took a long time, but there was obstacles along the way. But how was that journey for you? Like,
I think I think there's a couple of things that have played out in the last year, right? So I left my job. It felt like I was mourning a whole career, and that sounds strange, but I was mourning a life that I had. I was moving into a life that I really, really wanted. And in the middle of all of that, my life was also shifting, and here home with my children. And so it just felt like everything was happening so quickly. And that I thought, okay, what if I don't do well? And there was a lot of hesitation. So obviously it took me a while. I think that myself and Jacob were having this conversation. One of my business partners, we were having a conversation about it. We were like, why do you think? And he mentioned, he's like, because maybe you felt like once you passed it, you had to perform. And what if you fail? And I was like, you know what? That explains it so well. Like once I passed it, and also I wanted to be really thorough. I was wanting to make sure that I knew every single aspect of real estate before I said, okay, I'm ready to go take that test. I mean, I took like 2 pre-courses before going to take the exam. And it was an incredible lesson. Yeah. But I think one of the things that I definitely learned was never to give up. There was like moments I remember thinking,
is this worth it?
Is this worth it?
Should we even do this?
Yeah. I remember one night Juan and I got in an argument.
And it was like right before your family came over for dinner.
Yeah, it was right before my family came over. And I was like, Juan, like it's only going to get busier, right? And is this something that we really want to do? Like, do we want to move forward with this, or do we want to just say, you know what? We're okay being employees. And I remember him looking at me and saying, no, you've come too far. You're not going to give up. And I remember thinking, okay, I just needed that reassurance that, that you're not giving up on me too.
So like in the journey of you becoming a realtor, from that moment, we knew that we were going to be full on business owners. That was always going to be the goal, is for us to be business owners, for us to be self-sufficient, for us to build a life that we want. And at the same time, helping a lot of people get the life that they want.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That's always the ideal purpose between this partnership, businessship. But like, I can't move forward in the sense of like me quitting my job or me saying goodbye to my job until you let go of until like you got your things on the way. Yeah. So like, it was like very frustrating for me to be like, people are requesting me, people are wanting to work with me, people are wanting to do this, but I have such a limited amount of time that I can put into different businesses and different weddings and different things like that. I have a limited amount of time because I still work a 9 to 5. Like that's still part of my Monday through Friday routine. On top of that, we do overtime. On top of that, we do live stream events. On top of that, we do a lot more different things within the company that I work for. And so to have all that and then have John Olivo, an amazing friend of ours, he picked me up with Magnitude to start working with him, and he flew me out to LA last year. Next month I'm going to Phoenix. In August I'll be in California. There's potential chance of going to Florida. Like there's so many, Mexico City, not Mexico. Like there's a lot of opportunity for us to travel through them. And I'm just like, I just need you to finish. Like I just want you to finish so much, because as soon as you finish and your ball starts rolling, I can quit. And then our ball starts rolling even faster. And I just visualize this like snowball effect. Like as soon as the ball starts going, it's only going to get bigger. But I love the way you said it early. It's only going to get as big as we want it to get.
Yeah. And really the thing is that, which is crazy. We were talking about, once I passed my exam, I spent a whole month setting up all the processes.
That was like the whole entire Christmas break.
Yeah. Every single day we were sitting, I was.
What day did you pass? What day did you pass the test?
It was like right before the Thanksgiving break.
It was right before Thanksgiving. Yeah. And right after Thanksgiving, it was like full on building brand, building marketing, making content. I think we shot 3-4 houses right after Christmas.
Yeah.
It was like December 26th, and we were at people's property recording some stuff.
Yeah.
I remember I asked the guy, I forgot his name, and I was like, "Oh, how was your Christmas yesterday?" He was, "I'm Jehovah's Witness." So it was just a normal day. And I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense. Okay." I didn't know what else to say because it just threw me off.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things is for me and for you is that it has been almost like a snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
Like since January 1st is 25 days since today's January 25th, since I started, and every day content's going out. Every day, every weekend we're at a open house. Every weekend, this weekend I'm hosting back-to-back open houses.
This weekend we're making a switch within our business, and this is stuff that we'll be pushing out on social media here shortly. But we're making a switch to like focus on realtors, because with my wife being a realtor and being in that space, I want to become an expert in creating content and doing the photos. Not necessarily more the photos, but like building content for realtors to grow and like spread their reach through social media, because short form videos are only going to get more and more popular.
Yeah.
But like, I want to get better at that. So that's a new thing that I'm venturing out to.
Yeah.
So like this whole year has been focusing on that. I bought some new equipment strictly for real estate.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. 25 days in, and it is insane how much has happened in these 25 days. I'm very proud to say that, you know, I'm working with people already. I've already started several people's processes. You know, I have
So
one.
We're just waiting for that check to come in, guys. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting.
It's exciting because I can feel what's happening, right? And for me, I think one of the key things that I've learned in the season is not to give up.
Yeah. What's if you look back on the whole process of last year, 2022, what was let's start with the most funnest, because then we always go down to the negative. But what was the most funnest moment for you, like through that whole process? Because obviously living it, I only see like the stress. But you do a really good job on like living in the stress, but also like taking time to enjoy the enjoyable parts. I guess that's how you would say it. You can correct me. I don't know. English is not good at me.
Like moving on. Like I don't sit in the sadness
not. Yeah. You're really good at that. But like in the sense of like, there's so much chaos that could be going on. And then one moment pops up and you're just like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And you're so excited for that moment. And I'm just like, yeah, but we still got like a lot of stuff to finish. But you like take time to really enjoy the little things. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate it because I'm not good at that. But what's one thing that like you can go back and say 2022, this was the most enjoyable moment for me?
I think there's a reel where we were sitting in front of the Christmas tree and it was us and the kids.
So the end of it?
It was the end of it. There's several, right? So
I'm all thinking like, oh, Midsummer
or
something like
there's
that.
several. Okay, so the day that I left the job, that was amazing.
Yeah.
The day that I started studying for the exam, even though I took 2 exam prep courses.
Please tell the audience, because they don't know this story. I know the story, but tell the audience this amazing story on why it took you so long to finish your exam. And it wasn't even your fault. It was... So I'm not going to throw in a shade school.
One of the schools that I was attending dropped real estate. And when I went to take the final exam, they couldn't give it to me because they had dropped the license. So I'd taken this full course only for them to drop the license, and then I couldn't take the final exam. So then when they're trying to figure out how to get me to take the final exam, they realized, well, we can't give you a certificate because you haven't finished the final. And we also can't have you take the final because we don't have the license. So it's really comical. I ended up having to take the full course all over again.
I was livid.
But we got reimbursed, and they paid for my next class at a different school for free. So like, okay.
I mean, yeah, win-win, but
yeah. And I zoomed through that class because I had already.
Yeah.
But it was, I think that was probably one of the best parts.
So this is also
the
crazy thing too. It took you that season during the summertime, end of summer, right around August, I think is when we finally got the news, and we were waiting for them to reset everything up and get you going. And I think it was like maybe September is when finally everything was going on, because I remember we were trying to get all that done before school season started.
Yes.
And so.
And it took them about a month and a half to finally reply to me.
Yeah, it took forever for them to give you an answer. But, so starting off this year, I bought a course to become a better realtor, photographer, branding, pushing for that. It was a really good course. I highly recommend it. But I had a phone call with, I forget the guy's name at the top of my head right now, but I had a phone call with him this week, and he was telling me the time that I bought this program is literally the best time, because if I would have bought it in October, when most likely you would have been done, or if I would have got in September, that is actually the lowest season for real estate photography and all that stuff. That is the lowest season. That is when it is not the greatest time financially for anyone in that time. I mean, you still make some money, but like if you're making a 20 grand, you're probably going to make 10 grand. Like, and he was saying that's the lowest season. So like, I think about that now, and like, yeah, it sucked, but it was actually like, it was like at the same time, like God like set everything up to be like, all right, we're going to push you back another quarter. Just so when you start, you actually start at the peak of real estate. And so like he was saying, like going into this next month of February, March is actually going to be the highest season. And so for me to get my website done, for me to get all that stuff done on our side for the company, our production company, is great. But also for you, like the ball's already rolling, the momentum's already going. And so by the time the season starts picking up again in the real estate world, you've already hit the ground running. Like it's,
and you have to be consistent. I think that's something that people don't realize, is that real estate goes through a natural course of cycle every year, right? So at the beginning of the year into January, even, it's a little bit slower pace. People aren't really buying houses. Prices drop, right? Because people are trying to be lured back in, right?
Yeah.
But then you coming into March, April, May, even into the summer when families are really shifting and moving and getting registered for new schools and all of this stuff, that's when prices start going back up because people are buying homes and all of this great stuff. So
I'm curious what happens in March that makes everyone more willing to spend money. Income tax.
Yeah, all of these things, right? These all play a big factor. And so, honestly, the journey that we've been on has been such an incredible one.
Yeah.
It's been insane in the sense of like it really pushed us to our limits to kind of identify where our holes were and push us into where we needed to be. Also, it pushed us to say, hold on, is this something we really wanted to do? And then say, I refuse to give up.
Yeah, we had that conversation several times.
And both of us say, I refuse to give up. And say, I refuse to give up. And so I think that there's a handful of things that I would say were great moments, but I think the moment that I keep holding on to and I think about the most is Christmas Day, when we did that reel and I thought, wow, that's like, it's about to start, you know?
And that's one thing I've been really liking about what you've been doing, even though it makes me feel weird when we're out in public, is that you've been making content on where we go out to eat, what we like to do, things like that around the island, like things that we just do naturally.
Yeah.
So now like those moments aren't just like actual family moments, they're content time, but it's like 10-second video here, another 10-second video here. It's like it's not.
And our kids are really
time.
Enjoying it.
Yeah, it's not like that much time.
Famous.
But it's just we're intentionally going out as a family to make content, but at the same time, we're really enjoying each other's time. And so like I'm looking at that. That's just a normal thing that's going to be part of our lives going into like the next few years, because we're both starting a business, and eventually we'll be like, all right, we don't need to record this. We're all hanging out. Like, it's fine. But I really been enjoying that because it's showing the kids more like we have something. There's something we're doing. Every time we set up lights in our studio, they're like, oh, you guys got a photo shoot? Oh, you doing a video? Like, they know what we're doing. I mean, even today, like John was like, oh, do we get an iPad today? I was like, nah, but because
we're very, very strict with our iPad time.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why we took like a long break from last season to this season in the podcast, because it was all the holidays, but it was also like all the big stuff that was going on for you. It was all the changes that was coming in our side for my business. Like, it was all these things happening, and I couldn't balance setting this up, recording it, editing it, posting it, making all the reels for it, and at the same time shooting the weddings, editing the weddings, working on photos, doing the senior photos, like all these other stuff, working on new production days for different companies. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into what we do. And so, like, even for this podcast, like, I'm looking for someone to edit. Like, I'll shoot it, we'll do the whole thing, and I hand it off, you edit it. And so if this one looks different, it's because I had a new editor, and I'm really excited about that. In time, the podcast will continue to get better and grow because I'll take input. And so, like, listening to our team is going to be a huge factor moving forward.
Yeah. And the cool thing, I think this is just the coolest thing, is that if it's like things are expanding, and as they're expanding, our mindset is also shifting, and we are also intentionally giving time for us to grow, right? So like, we are committed to reading books. We are committed to doing our trainings.
Yeah. All the things that we talked about in the first episode.
Yeah. We're committed to investing in ourselves so that we know how to treat our employees, how to build out our businesses with success.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we read this earlier, or we heard this in a podcast earlier this week, where we were talking about how Gary Vee said micro speed and macro patience, right? So that micro speed, doing things quickly but efficiently, right? Not trying to be perfect, but be quick and efficient. And then with that micro patience, understanding that everything takes time, everything good takes time. And understanding that failing is not being a failure. That failing is a lesson for us to move forward, take the next step, right? Continue that growth. And so I felt that in the 25 days. In 25 days, that's what I'm like.
So overall recap, she quit her job. It was a really long time studying. When she was finally ready, the college dropped her course. They had to find a whole new thing to kind of go nuts and crazy, but in a weird way, still fit everything that we're doing.
Worked.
So now going into 2023, we kicked it off with our vision party. That was really fun. And we'll get into those in another episode. But what has been the biggest like help in these first like 25 days?
My family.
Well, obviously that goes without saying.
Yeah.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. And my parents. At first my parents were really not on board. I mean, my dad was, but my mom and even my siblings, there was moments where they were like really worried. But I can definitely say, like, since the moment I said, hey, I sat them down and had the serious conversation with them, they genuinely have been my biggest support. I have an open house and I can't pick up the kids. I call my mom. She's there. They don't just want us to succeed. They don't just say they want us to succeed. They're present. They are active. They are making a conscious effort to make sure that whatever we need moving forward, they're there. And I can't say thank you enough.
Yeah. Well, none of that. We have like family and friends that like, they probably won't buy a house from you, or they probably won't buy like a big production day for me. But they reshare.
Absolutely.
They always are resharing our stuff.
Yeah.
They're always posting it. I hear all the time, I'm always telling people about you.
Yes.
And I love that. Like, so anyone who's watching that is a big supporter of us as the Lazos,
Martha,
but also like us as business owners.
Andy,
like I'm super grateful that you, in the easiest way possible, hit 2 buttons. Click share.
Yeah, like, Gloria. I mean, there's just
there's
so
countless
many
people that constantly, every time we post, I know I can go to the story and I'll see your post again. Yeah. And so like, it's been really huge to kind of have that, because that's kind of how like our first networks are working, is people resharing our stuff, people seeing it. Yeah,
that's how the first year of our business was so successful. Yeah. It was just friends of friends just saying, hey, I need something, and it's expanded so much further than that. And it's thanks to them.
So what are some tools for anyone that's a first time realtor, really just jumping into it? What are some tools that you recommend for them? Because like I said, you've been kind of killing it on social media. And that's what I love the most, is that it's barely me. Like I do make content for you and we focus on that stuff, but it's not really me. Like here's
the thing. Okay. So for most people don't know this, but Juan is the creative, but for a long time in my career life at nonprofit world, I did a lot of that marketing and podcasts and so forth. So nothing.
No one in this room is saying I'm the only person.
No, because I don't think a lot of people know that. It's like, that's currently still stuff that I do for nonprofits. Is a lot of marketing.
Well, if we're going to shine a light on who's the most creative, it's going to be me. So in that light, you're going to be in the shade, girl. So like, just chill. No. But in your own world, you're creative. And I think you have ideas. And
I don't think I'm that creative. I really can follow a plan very well. And that's where the tools come in.
That's probably where it comes in. Yeah. So what's been like, anyone that's watching that's first time realtor, selling houses, what would they be their first, like, hey, you need to do this, hey, you should do that? What are some tips? Like,
okay, so here's just
that was like the Ace Ventura.
Okay, so here's a couple of tips I would say right off the bat. If you don't have a lot of money, find 2-3 people, one person in your market and 2 or 3 people outside of your market, far outside of your market, who have large followings, and kind of figure out what the similarities are in between all of those. And then also pick things that people are using, top music, stuff like that. Definitely 100%. If you're a realtor, you should be in houses constantly recording them, putting them on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all of the things.
Explain to that, because even for myself, I was so confused. Like even on this Sunday when we went to open houses and I saw you like walk into these people's house, I'm like, are you able to do this? Like explain that to us.
So if you're a realtor, and you make sure you're new. Make sure, first of all, that your MLS is set up. This has been a nightmare for me, because there's a lot of nuances that go in with being with a certain agency like HAR or your national, so you can get the realtor, be an official realtor. But your MLS allows you to book openings to be able to get into houses, right? I particularly like to go with open houses when there's open houses, because the realtors there, they can often show you cool little knickknacks and things that they point things out that you want to definitely film. So I particularly like to go to open houses opposed to going to the house when it's empty and no one's there. So I prefer to go to open houses. That's just one of the things that I enjoy to do. I go to the open houses and I film. I go in and I ask the realtor, I say, hey, I'm a local realtor. I have a YouTube channel and I have several platforms. I'm growing a following and I'd love to record your property, see if I can bring in a buyer or attract a buyer to your property.
So that's normal.
Yes.
That's not like, hey, you're stepping on my toes.
No, they want you to go and market. It's free marketing for their property. And if you
really free because they got me making it.
Yeah. And the thing is that if you bring in the buyer or someone sees the video and they tell their realtor, either way, they're benefiting from it. Yeah. Right. And so You just have to go in. I've had a couple of people say, why do you even ask? Just take the photos. I particularly like to respect other people's spaces. Yeah. And relationships. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is that like, I would imagine if I was in your shoes, it might not feel like it on camera. It might not feel like if you really know me, but I'm kind of an introvert. Like I don't like doing things like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'd be so nervous to be like, hey, can I film your house? Like if I can sell it for you, like I would feel so weird having that conversation and doing it. So I would imagine there are people out there that feel weird doing that. I would suggest, and I'm not a realtor and I'm not in that world at all.
You could do the opposite. You could just send them a message on the MLS and say, hey, I'm going to book this time frame for an hour. I'd love to film your property if that's okay. I'd like to see if I can attract a buyer for your property. That you could just text that to them.
As a first time, you've done how many of these houses already since the 25 days?
A lot. It's been like 8, 9.
So within 25 days, you've done 8 to 9 houses where you've done that. They're not your listings, but you're promoting
14.
them. Oh, God dang it.
14. Yeah, sorry.
But 14 houses where it's not your listing, but you're promoting it. You're doing free advertisement for it to hopefully buy it, to get a buyer in, and you can get a small little check from that. But I think for anybody, but I mean, for anybody who's starting off, that would seem like, well, that's not my listing. I shouldn't do that. Or that's stepping over someone's toes. I shouldn't do it. To me, I look at it as you need content. Yes. You need to show that you're actively doing something. You need to, because what was it? I think you had 2 people say, oh, Rose, you're really doing this. This is actually a real thing.
Yeah. I'd been talking about it for such a long time. I'd wanted to do it for ages. Like I'd wanted to go into real estate and I had a lot of people that were like, what? Like you have a great career. Why would you want to go into real estate? And I'm just like, you don't understand. This has just been a dream of mine my whole life and I'm doing it. And yes, I'm going to get my butt up every single Saturday, be up at 7.
Sunday
after church, I'm going to be driving around, making sure that I hit the houses, recording them, getting that content out. Because even if I don't attract a buyer for that house, people are looking at those houses and saying, ooh, I really want a house. I want to stop renting. I really want a house.
Yeah.
Like I want to be the person that they think about that looking at my video, you know, and it's important that I'm being consistent.
Our video.
Yeah. I want them to understand that I'm being consistent and and that also builds trust, right? Yeah. If you're being consistent with your content, then you're going to be consistent with your clients.
Well, it's also like a wheel in motion stays in motion. If you're on social media and you're constantly doing something and on your feed, there's constantly stuff going on and not like you're just they're throwing a whole bunch of stuff into social media just for social media's sake. Like it's strategic. Like you're planning these out. Like, but if you're throwing things out there and you're constantly showing one house, then the next week you show another house, people that are watching you, either actually following you or just following your stories and not following you, they're seeing this girl is moving. Mm-hmm. Like that's going to draw attention to, I should work with them.
Yeah.
They're
and
moving.
Then not only
they're
that,
moving forward. I should try to jump into this.
Yeah. Not only that, I'm not only trying to attract buyers. I think one of the things I love buyers because I want to see someone find the home that their forever home, or maybe their first time home, or maybe they're retiring and they want to downsize and be close to their grandchildren. I want to be that person who helps them get to be near their grandkids, right? So that's my first love, is like helping people. But I also want to be there for those people who want to sell their home. And I want to show them, hey, look, I can do it. I can show your home. I can promote your home with excellence. I have the tools. Like you don't have to look, I don't have to pay nobody. I got this guy over here who can help me create a bomb video for your home. I can market the crap out of it. Like I want people to know that I am the best person that they can hire. Yeah. And I want to show that through my content.
And that's kind of the thing, like I do, like honestly with you, like I record these videos. So Sunday we recorded a video, long form and short form. We got home and within an hour I had that done for you.
Yeah.
Videos
That's
are
how
done.
we work. We work quick and efficient.
quick and efficient. But like I do those because I know it's not just about the quality. It's about how fast you can get. It's that efficiency of being like quick. If I can show this out, the faster I can get this out, the faster more eyes see it, the faster it travels, the faster someone's gonna be like, hey, I didn't know this was out in the market. Let me get to it. So I want to be fast and efficient. And that's one of the things like
with quality.
And that's what efficient means. Like efficient means that you're good with your time, but you're not dropping the quality. Like that's what efficient means. And so like I've been trying to do that for you. One, so I get that project off my docket, so I can focus on people that are paying me. And so like I'm focusing on that, but like I also want to like, I'm practicing with you on being quick and how to turn this around, trying to improve at every house. And so one day when people come to me and say, hey, I want to hire you to do this video, I want this package from you, I'm going to be able to say, yeah, I can get that to you. This is the price. You'll get it by tomorrow. Like I'll be done. And as soon as like I'm able to like leave my full-time job and do this full-time, I'm only going to be faster. There's really nothing going to be in my way. Waking up, taking kids to school. By the time I get home, I can sit down, done.
It's 7:30.
Yeah, I can get it done by 7:30 in the morning. Or shoot, I don't have to go to sleep to be at work at 6 in the morning. Let me just stay up a little bit longer, knock these out, send these out, package delivered.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be able to do that in a more efficient way that I've never done before.
Yeah,
and I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm really excited I don't find real estate photography and videography to be the most creative thing ever, but I like it because I feel like it's going to challenge me, and I haven't been challenged in a while.
Yeah.
Not trying to toot my own horn. I just haven't really been challenged in a while.
You're really good at what you do, and you've been doing it for such a long time. And so it's so cool to watch your mind start going and like trying to figure out how things are working and like the flow of the house. Like it's really impressive. I even had one of the realtors on Sunday when we were at the final house, and she goes, oh, and that's your husband? And I said, yeah. And then you walked out and you were like, I'm done. And I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to be really quick. You walked through really fast. You were like checking out the angles, and then you were like, had the camera in your hand, and then you walk through and you were like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, dang, man, you're so fast. But you're so like, your mind.
I'm only fast with cameras.
No, but what I mean is like, you know what you're doing, and you understand how to create.
Yeah, I'm able to adapt to this pretty quickly because I'm used to thinking on my feet and troubleshooting. Just because of shooting weddings, because doing events, like I'm used to like trying to be on my feet and think of how to do things. So like this one, it's cool because I don't have a couple that I need to make sure I'm getting a kiss. I don't have anything like that I need to make sure I'm getting. It's not the big event where like I need to get their big grand entrance. Like it's none of that. It's just going into an empty house with nothing in my way saying, capture me. Like that's it. So like, it's super easy to do this. And I'm super excited to like start promoting this for future people and saying, hey, any brokerage or any realtors, like I'm available. Yeah. Like let's work together.
And I think it's exciting. It's exciting to kind of start something new. I know I get so excited about real estate. I haven't been this excited about like life since my children, right? Since like the last time was when our children were small and we had just had them, and like I haven't been like this excited for life because we're doing what we really want to do. Yeah. We're accomplishing things in insane amount of times. Yeah. And we're going to see failures.
For sure.
But the failures are going to be ours to own and ours to grow from. And that's kind of exciting to have control over how we react for our own things in our own lives that we're responsible for, opposed to having to react to whatever this guy's yelling at us about, right?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot more we can jump into, like different tools they're using, different things like that. And we'll get into those in another episode. I find this to be a really cool journey for us. And that's kind of one of the reasons why before we start bringing more guests into the set and doing all stuff, I wanted to touch bases with you and talk about this stage of journey because
It's
like
crazy.
I said, episode 1, we talk about it, and it's just that nerve wracking of like, oh my God, I quit my job. To now it's like, oh my God, I got to build something. So it seems like there's always, oh my God. But like this is,
but it's exciting. It's so it feels like I don't even know how. Like I feel like we're in the middle of a chaotic parade, and we're the stars of the show.
Yeah.
But we don't know which way. Like it's like a lot happening at one time, but we're having a blast, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
And so we're really excited. I think we've created. I don't want to say we created. We surrounded ourselves with amazing people. People that have been on the podcast, people that have been to our Vision Nights, like people that has just been in part of our lives that pour into us. And these probably aren't like friends that like we'll invite over for Thanksgiving dinner or like for our birthday party. Like these are friends that like like-minded that we hang out with in a business set where like we were able to open up, and it's just like ability to be like, I get it.
Yeah.
And it's not like, no offense to any of our friends or family, but sometimes we can express our ideas and you're kind of like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't want you to get it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not my friend for that reason. You're my friend because you make me laugh and it's good to hang out with you. Like, people that are our business acquaintance, like, they're there because I need someone to bounce ideas. If it's bad, they're going to tell me. If it's great, they're going to be like, that's good. Yeah. They're not going to tell me, what about your family? What about this? What about that? What if it all fails? They're not going to go that way. They're going to go to, how can we fix this issue and solve it?
Yeah.
And that's the type of people I've been loving around in our conversation through. I mean, I've been building relationships, just saw people off of Instagram just to DMing and talking to them and trying to build things. Like there's a couple from Houston. They've been really big supports for like me getting to the real estate world. Like they've been really being a big support for that. I'm super excited. There's a videographer in Miami Orlando. I've been messaging all day, and like, it's cool. Like, I know it's really weird, but like, that's also how like, Jonathan Olivo, like that's how we kind of became friends, is through messaging each other through Instagram. Yeah. And so like, we live in a really good world right now.
Yeah. And you want to do that, right? For any realtors who are out there, first of all, I just want to say, if you are just becoming a realtor, or if you are a realtor at a different brokerage outside of EXP and you want to learn more about what we offer as a team, as a group, it's insane. We have social media trainings that for every single platform. Yep. We have Karuvi, we have mindset, we have, I mean, my downline or my upline is just amazing. Not to mention the fact that EXP alone has some incredible tools here in the state of Texas. And I mean, just going into EXP world is a whole other plethora of trainings and tools and so many other things, like meeting with a broker within 5 minutes. Like I got to sit down, like every time I have a question, I go into EXP world and I ask the broker the question. And it's so crazy. I have crazy access to people with also having this incredible independence in how to build my own business. Right. And so that
was a break from our sponsor, EXP.
No, but I mean, like, if you are looking for someone to bounce ideas off or have like conversations about where you want to go as a business, please let me know. I love to have these conversations. Yeah. I am all about helping other people build their business. My husband and I feel very passionate about
helping
people. Like that's our like family motto, is that we were brought here on earth and together to help people. Our kids, we know that our kids are, that's their motto, their life motto is to help people. Yeah. And we're excited about that. I heard this
quote, and I can't remember who said it. I think it's Zig Ziglar. I believe I pronounced it right. If you want to get what you want out of life, help enough people get what they want.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we just been kind of living off of, that mentality of like, we're going to get what we want in life, but we're going to help a lot of people get what they want in life as well. Yeah. And so I'm really excited about where we're going in the future. I'm really excited about our businesses, the ventures that we have, so much more planned.
Investment properties. I mean, that's just around the corner.
But I mean, I'm excited to interview more people about their businesses and about what they do and what makes them tick and the goods and don'ts and all about that stuff. And so honestly, if you haven't watched episode 1, go watch episode 1. It's going to be an amazing episode. The quality is not going to be as great as this one because I got better with podcasts, but it's still a great episode. You should watch it. And I just want to thank you so much for watching this one. Have a good night. Peace out.